Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show, the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here, everyone, especially at this time. It is a stressful time for some, and difficult time for others, and it's just, challenging, right? So I really appreciate you all being here, and we are here to support you with this call and all of the calls and any other way that we can. We are keeping you in our prayers, in our thoughts, in our meditations. So we are sending you all unconditional love, light, blessings, whatever you require. So please do tap into that every day the best you can. And so, because my mission, of course, is to support you in being the best version of you, living your greatest life. And, so for me, supporting you in this way is just one small way of ensuring that you feel supported, that you know that you're not alone, especially in this time of social distancing or whatever it's called anymore. I don't even know. But we are all here together and we are all available for you as well. So that's why we've continued to do these calls at this time, to be there for you, to support you. And so today, my good friend Laura Hosford is here, even though she is not feeling the greatest, but she's here on audio, and I'm so glad and so grateful. And Laura today is going to be talking to us about that, that you are a goddess, and we're going to be talking about embodying your angelic superpowers. And so we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, but if you're ready to activate your Christed light codes and embody your angelic goddess self, then this is the call for you. We're going to be talking about releasing stuck karma and suppressed energies that are holding you in a limbo state between timelines of higher consciousness. We're going to talk about activating your creator codes of light, sacred codes of embodiment to manifest your heaven on earth. We're also going to be talking about, and we're going to be doing some of these as well, but activating your 12-strand diamond sun DNA template to fully embody your Christos-Sophia Avatar blueprint. We're also going to be talking about healing your DNA fragmentation and awaken your internal technology to fully activate your angelic goddess self. The importance of fasting, prayer, and diet to heal your body deva. And we're going to talk about igniting your inner sacred feminine so that you can reclaim your inner voice, confidence, and spark to be the change agent you came to be, to fully embody your goddess light and live in peace, prosperity, and radiant presence, creating your heaven on earth. Dream life, fulfilling your destiny as a light leader for the new earth. And so I know that seems like a lot, but when we move through this call and this conversation, we're going to be doing some Q&A as well, and the process. Hopefully, we'll see how much time we have, but we're going to try and touch on all of that and more. So we always have so much fun. And for those of you who don't know Laura, she is a channel and emissary for the divine feminine Christ, including Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary. She's a womb priestess and ceremonial frequency rebirther, a shamanic ordained minister, a master Akashic Records teacher, a light language channel, intuitive energy healer, and a retreat leader. So unfortunately, the retreat for this year, I think, is on hold, right? So we'll talk a little bit about that too. So Laura, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Laura. It's such a pleasure to be with you today and your beautiful, beautiful community. I always love being here. I always have so much fun with you and your community, and I feel just so deeply connected to you and your community. It's just beautiful. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're here, even though you're not feeling 100%. So we wish for you radiant health, and that you move through this easily with grace, and so that you can go back to being 100% and supporting us and the world as you do.
Thank you. I receive it. Thank you so much for that. I totally receive it. I'll receive that support and love. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, it's just, this time is a pretty special time we're coming into with the month of April, and my own divine higher guidance and what I've been kind of reading, energetically, is that we're coming into this special period of the 444, on April 4th. That's going to be the triple gateway, maybe the only triple gateway for the energies this year. And of course, 4 is about our heart chakra, and this really like triple, 4 energy, and that's going to be a powerful day. I think there's a global meditation going on that day, that I hope to be a part of, and hope everyone can, and it feels very powerful. And then going into, Good Friday and Easter, it feels like that on the world scene, this next couple weeks are very, very important for all of us. And, the more that we can spend time to rest and pray and meditate and to just spend time with ourselves. Because, if you really look at it, we've sort of been gifted, with the virus, right? The virus is actually, in the higher picture, the silver lining. There's really a lot of good things coming through this, but through the higher picture of look how it's really brought the world to almost a halt.
Yeah.
To our knees. And it doesn't matter what country, it doesn't matter what sex you are, it doesn't matter what your belief systems are. We've all been brought to this singular place of really what I see and feel is that we are all pouring so much love and so much compassion that we are literally exploding the fifth dimensional world, into this new unity grid consciousness. This whole grid of peace is actually rising between the cracks of the third dimension.
Beautiful.
And
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, just really, invite you and all your listeners to just take a moment to feel so deeply into the heart chakra of that, and, just staying focused on that and staying focused on what we're here to do individually and how we're here to express our beautiful radiant light is so important now. And I was just earlier with one of the previous sessions, and the guides were just so strongly saying that, especially for us who are light workers and empaths, we have so much love that we want to give to people, and we want to help people so much. We want to send them love and light, which is nothing wrong with that. However, what they were guiding and reminding me of, to keep our energy super, super clean and clear. This particular time of where we are on the ascension path, as we're getting into these, and I'm seeing lots of people starting to go into the 7th and 8th dimensions of consciousness now, because, we're moving through this at a soul group. And so there's not that we're, 100% in those dimensions, but some of our energy field, our quantum fields are starting to get into these really higher realms. And as we do that, as we move through that, it's going to become even more important that we spend this quiet time with our higher self and our divine teams of light, and that we begin to really, make that our priority, and that we remember that to keep our energy really, really super clean, which means not going out trying to rescue people, not trying to save them, not trying to do things for them, but to honor their path wherever they are, to honor their free will choice. And that's going to become even more important than it ever has before. And the other thing too is Mother Mary, Sunday, Mother Mary came through with a beautiful message and she brought the Beatles song to me, the one Let It Be. And at first I was like, okay, listen to the song, listen to the words, let it be, let it be. And, really going into that more deeply, it was around just us letting everything essentially be as it is and as it unfolds and as the waves come through, and not try to latch on to anything, to really just, stay present, stay grounded, stay in the light, because these bumps and waves that we're going to kind of move through on the planet, we don't want to get attached to those. We don't want to judge those. We want to stay in neutrality and compassion as much as possible, because it's just the higher, it's kind of like the end of the karma cycle. It's the end of whatever people need to play out, they need to play out kind of deal. But here as light workers, and for those of us who are here to hold the light, to hold the pillar of light, it's super, super important this next few weeks. So, yeah, it was just a really amazing. And she actually shared that the rose of our heart is opening now. Is it okay if I share this?
Absolutely. Yes, please.
So I'll just read this short message. It wasn't a long message. And her message was, the rose of your heart is opening now, open to receive its guidance. to direct your path in all ways into new light and realms of celestial fields of bliss and joy you have not experienced before in human form. Your angelic wings are opening and ready to take flight in new ways of living and being as an ascended earth angel. Your journey is complete in lessons learned well. Your soul is ready to soar into the diamond light. Hold yourself lightly and allow Goddess to emerge from within you. Take flight into the arms of the unknown world you seek. Have no fear, you are already there. Your heart knows the way home, beloved child. Have faith in yourself. You cannot get it wrong. Follow my lead and take my hand. Your soul awaits. Close your eyes and come into your heart and meet me here on the inner planes of light. In the temple of your rose heart, where peace and love prevail. A softness surrounds you, a sweetness of the mother enfolds you. A wave of love now deepens you. Open your heart now to receive this new sweet embrace. Feel the resonance of the solar Christ consciousness wave flowing through your every cell, molecule, and particle. Open your divine mind and see the light of God particles flowing in. Receive the manna of heaven's grace raining down inside you of a new embrace. New sensations of joy flowing in every direction, lifting you into a new realm of creation and divine perfection. Release the past, let go, and let in your new world of joy and bliss. Breathe through your heart more deep in the tunnel and move deeply into the tunnel of light. And walk with me now into the light of heaven, into the new earth, as she awaits your conscious creation and connection. Just say yes to open her heart and align with her, Mother Tara. Stand still and receive your initiation of heaven's light. Open the veil of angelic light and now see and feel these rays emitting now from your heart, your hands, your feet, and your chakras. Embrace this angelic light of yours, dear one. Allow it in. Have no fear. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Now and forevermore, you are the light. Can't you see? Let it in. Let it in. Let it be. Amen. So yeah, that just, I think, just really sets us off to a beautiful tone today in our healing conversation, and just take a moment to pause and feel those beautiful waves of light moving in and through your heart. And this is what we're going to. This is what we're entering into, this new golden age of peace. And yeah, we just need to open and spend time and just really call it in. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Mm-hmm.
It can be really that simple. And that's really, I love that. I love that, Laura. I don't like to get into so much of the, sometimes into all the analyzing and all the breaking down. And really, I think that was part of this message from Mother Mary is, as we come into the divine feminine, as we come back into our goddess energy, it's just really about slowing down and being present in the moment and really connecting with that inner wave of her waveform, right? Of moving in grace and allowing the grace to come in and move in and through us to move us to when we feel called, we feel called, but to actually undo everything that's left to undo with all the entanglements of our energies with others, it means, slowing down and allowing that untanglement to now take place and really inviting in our higher teams of light to untangle it for us.
Yeah.
You know?
Beautiful. Yeah. And it was so simple and it was so easy. And it's like, this is what we're always being called to do. And now we have the opportunity to do it, to be it, because we're not distracted by everything, most of the world is on lockdown. So we have the opportunity to go within, to connect within, to be present, to call in our team, our guides, our angels, Mother Mary, etc., whoever we would like to work with, call them in and just be with them and be that space and be that vibration of love and peace. Absolutely beautiful. I loved it. Thank you.
Yeah. And we're, what was coming in even this morning was from Mother Mary was that during this next 3-week period, we are going to be going through some really interesting stuff that we as the public may never see. But we as light workers are being called to really anchor the pillar of light and hold this stabilization for the planet, if you will, to hold the stabilization of the planet while we go through the bumps and the waves, because on the other side of it, of this is this new opening of this whole new shift in consciousness, which I've been seeing for a few months now coming to us. And it's going to be raising us into this more fully into this fifth dimensional, vibration of light. And yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be phenomenal. I mean, I just can't wait to see the miracles that are coming and the blessings and the bliss and in the love that's going to rain down for all of us. And that was another message that I got last year in France from Mother Mary. She said, we've done our work and we've done our work well, and it's now time for us to receive, the blessings and the fruit of our work, right?
Right. So are you willing to receive now? Are you ready to receive? And it's not even about being ready and willing, but will you receive? The answer is basically just yes. Yes, I will. Yes, I receive now, right? And sometimes we have to just really declare that, yes, I am receiving the blessings. I am receiving the goodness. I'm receiving my reward. I'm receiving the fruit of all of my labors and from all of my work that I've done in all lifetimes, not just this one. Yes, I now receive, right? Because in the past, we haven't been willing to, right?
That is absolutely the truth. We have been, I think, shut down and programmed and conditioned to not receive. We've been the opposite. We've been conditioned the opposite to, we have to pour out our lifeblood. We have to pour out our light, and it's selfish to put ourselves first and all of that. That was totally, not true. And now it isn't necessarily an easy thing to turn on, to receive support and receive love. I mean, it can be challenging. I know for myself, I continue to work on that. I continue to work on, well, how can I receive? And, I was just looking at reflecting on this, that if you have a thought that's coming up and it's a repetitive thought, and let's say it's a thought that you don't want to have, right? It's one of those thoughts that, you keep creating. Well, the thing that was the silver lining on that this morning was that thought is only coming up to bring you into your awareness, to let you know that it's there, and that when you're ready, you're ready and you're able to shift through that to another perception, opening up another layer of DNA, that you will. You will. And so one of the things that my guides brought to me a few months ago, I call it the enlightenment formula. And I'd like to talk about that today, because it really is not easy. It's kind of a 10-step process, but if you will, but just talking about the components is this basically this enlightenment formula. Really what it is to focus. The way forward is to focus 100% of your light. I mean, to really sit in your light, to give 100% of your focus and attention to your light. That is the way. that there's a tipping point to where things are going to come up, you know, thoughts or blocks or beliefs or whatever it is. But in order to tip it to that 51%, where 51% of your field becomes light and then the law of inertia takes over, that we just keep giving our energy to focusing on our own internal light and love. And that is the way of enlightenment and the way to freedom. And that increasing this energy flow is what we're being called to do. To increase this energy flow as pillars between heaven and earth, to stay in the heart and out of the head, and to just focus on flowing our energy, and also to get used to flowing more energy through our system, coming down from the Godhead, coming down from, you know, the seventh plane, through our chakras, through our meridians, through our cells, you know, and that is really where they were telling me to bring the focus. And by doing that, just shifting that focus, that this in itself would begin to heal the blocks and the beliefs that are kind of, you know, in between the layers, if you will. And so as part of this, just really shifting your focus to that flow of light and unconditional love that's flowing through you, and actually connecting it and aligning it with the cosmic mother, the womb of cosmic mother. You can just ask for that. And then flowing that connection down all the way through, you know, bringing it down through the divine mind, the pineal, your 7 chakras, bringing it through your high heart, then bringing it down to your womb if you're a woman, or if you're a man, bringing it to the Dantian. But as we pull this light and love down, we begin to really focus on expanding that light so that it's you know, expanded to the width of our body or even beyond our body. We need to increase this flow of light, and that is going to help us to really begin to really learn how to manifest and bring these new light structures through from the 7th plane of light. So that's one of the keys of just expanding into your own ability to manifest on the new earth plane, is simply through, you know, visualizing, feeling, and asking, or and setting an intention or prayer that you are that pillar of light through your entire body.
Right.
And then creating a bubble of unconditional love around your body, your being, your energy centers. And this just began to focus on expanding this bubble. And I like to use the rose gold. So the rose gold, and put myself on the aura of rose gold, which brings in the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And this brings about, you know, begins to activate those qualities within your own divine blueprint. And it also acts as a beautiful protection around your own body and auras. But as we really begin to shift and focus on just being the light, radiating our light, and then we can expand that light into, you know, our home, into our community, into our cities, into this, you know, we can keep expanding it out. This is what the great masters did. I mean, this is what they did. Jesus did this, Buddha did this, Mary Magdalene did this, Mother Mary did this. This is what they did. They just brought all their light back to themselves, all the fragments of light wherever they left it, right? The soul integration work, to raise their frequency and their vibration, to just radiate the light. And I think this is really important because as empaths, I know for myself, one of the conditioned things I've been reversing is to stop sending, you know, my light out into the world of trying to rescue people or caretake for people, or, you know, that kind of old pattern of codependency, whatever you want to call it, the martyr, whatever. But, you know, as empaths, as you know, that's how we became entangled with others' energies, even though we may have had good intentions behind it. You know, what's really glaringly clear now is that, you know, that was an old pattern, but we're not to engage in that pattern. We're to simply stay and radiate our own light, and to keep the focus on ourselves. And, you know, it's really important to do that because it also is honoring the free will of everyone else's choices when we do that. I was just having this this conversation, where someone wanted, she goes, well, I want to send healing energy out to my family and to others. And I said, well, I mean, that's a beautiful thought, but they may not want to receive your healing energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
That's also what I do too. I don't send out healing energy because people have their own path and their own journey, and they may not want to heal, number one, right? Or they may not want to accept that healing. So for me, I've always advocated for a very long time, just unconditional love, light, and blessings. And then, that goes to the person. They can use that for whatever they would like, however they would like to use it. But it's more of a general without an agenda, and that's the thing we have to get. It's like, when we are sending out the love, light, compassion, etc., it's not to necessarily to create a change or have something change, but it's to uplift people so that they can receive more light and then share their light as well. That's my understanding of it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's really just holding that the resonant field of the higher vibration is, just all we really were intended to do, I think. I think that's how we actually became entangled with the lower energies, is we had this misconception or misunderstanding. But really, so bringing yourself into the gratitude, the gratitude energy will raise your vibration. But this is a very powerful practice that I've been using and I wanted to share because, and the other part of this formula is then going into, why blessing everything in your life will unlock the portals of stuck karma in the suppressed energies and purify your energy fields. Again, a very, really simple practice, but a powerful practice of just as you can actually shift the energy into compassion through blessing every experience in your life, no matter how painful that experience is that you're experiencing. And so when we can really just step back into, blessing that thought that we don't want to think anymore, blessing that belief, right? Or blessing that person that perhaps we are finding ourselves still entangled with or feeling irritated or, whatever that is, that if we can just send them a blessing and without judgment and with pure compassion, that then we can begin to shift our own internal perspective into that state of unconditional love. And I really do believe that, that's really what we're doing now, Laura. We're just practicing, we're creating these new synapses in our brain. We're creating these new synapses, these new ways of being as we release the previous ways of being. But as we experience this inner shift into our what I call our angelic goddess self, we begin from this new foundation of compassion, and this frequency of compassion will actually shift us and help us to align into more of our own authentic blueprint. This is actually our natural state of being. This is the Christ consciousness.
Right.
And it's the energy of innocence plus compassion with no division or separation within our quantum field. And so through this activity of blessing is really a form of transmutation that we can use for ourselves. It can, because that means that if we are not able to see the higher, state of perfection in us, and we have a division, this will help to provide the solution to dissolve, dissolve the energy, to dissolve the karma, to release the suppressed energy so that we can then bring these energies to the consciousness, transmute them and shift them, and rise up into the higher consciousness. So a blessing, it dissolves the blocks and the boundaries, the beliefs, and it really helps us, I think, to unravel our energies of entanglement with others. And it really opens us to experiencing the doors of everything. And I think this is really one of the keys to the higher, realms when I look at, or what the guide shared with me of how, because I asked the question, well, how did the ascended masters like Jesus and Buddha and others, how did they embody those 12 strands of consciousness, those 12 strands of DNA and the higher realms? I mean, how did they do that? And this was one of the, the wisdom that came through was just shifting into gratitude, into blessing everything, and to really, you know, as I can see it right now through doing that, then you are not matching the lower energy frequencies anymore, and you're just really releasing those.
Absolutely.
Is that making sense?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, I use blessings myself in my work as well, and it's transformational when you do that, because you do raise your vibration and you do see things from a different perspective, a higher perspective. I don't like to use the word higher, but more compassionate perspective, and it helps to start to make that change in your life and in your understanding, for sure. So absolutely. It's easy to do. You know, it's not difficult. It's not complicated, right? But
exactly.
it is about doing it.
It's about doing it. Bingo.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know, one of the things that came to me too is shifting gears a little bit to, you know, why enlightenment, the key to why enlightenment's our free will choice, you know, plus our belief, which unlocks your freedom code, right? In the 12 strand DNA, because we do have free will. And so free will can be, you know, not easy in the sense of, you know, what I've been getting or what's been becoming very clear to me is that in order to reach that kind of, you know, ability to embody the 12 strands of consciousness and open up to the 13th level of consciousness, to have the Heros Gamas, the marriage with the divine within yourself, it really it takes a real commitment. I mean, it takes a very committed path of someone to put that first. And I'm really sensing that it has to become the priority, even if you're involved in a relationship, even if you have a family, even if you know, it doesn't have to be difficult. It just means that, you know, you need a really pure intention to align that pure intention with your heart and with the divine will of bringing heaven to earth. And, you know, making that your prayer each and every day to walk that kind of more narrow path. And that's super, super important as we move forward, so that you can continue to say to the divine almost daily, I choose to be in divine alignment. I choose to be in divine alignment with my highest destiny, or whatever your words are, or stepping into that blueprint above everything else. And it doesn't mean I don't care about anything else. It doesn't mean I don't love my family or I don't love the people around me, but you know, it isn't necessarily easy.
Yeah.
And I see that every day, where people are saying, you know, hey, I'm losing all these friendships. I'm even can't connect with my family anymore. And, you know, and I get it. I totally get it. And I think that's where these communities like you provide yourself with these beautiful calls and have this community. We can reach out to each other through these beautiful communities and connections to support each other, you know, and I think it's going to become even more important as we move forward through the prayer groups, through the circles, you know, to connect and receive that support, because the body, you know, the body is so, because we're um, going through the ascension with the body. And right now, you know, I feel like it's so super important. The emphasis is on the body and has been on the body and will continue to be on the body, because of the challenges around us in our environment, right? And we know about the biology of beliefs, we know about that, the quantum. But, you know, as we come together, what I'm finding is that coming together in these circles and creating these beautiful holograms of anchoring the goddess light, the helping each other to anchor the goddess light, I'm finding another layer of support that I can bring into the community, even if it's online. And that another layer of support is like creating this beautiful field of safety and love. It's like it's going beyond, you know, my own individual spark. And it's like bringing in a whole new level or layer around the globe. And that's where I think this is going to continue to expand, this whole unified field of expanding the peace grid, of expanding what I'm calling unity consciousness. And you know, the more that we can just receive that support, right? We were talking to at the beginning, just opening to receive. And that for you just might be, I accept where I am right now. I honor where I am right now. I honor my path. And I remove, you know, any blocks or shields or anything preventing me from just receiving what's truly mine to receive, right? My birthright in the goddess energies. Because truly the superpowers of the goddess is your ability to open and receive, is your ability to be present in the moment and stay anchored in love. It is your ability to flow and be flexible. It is your ability to stay in um, neutrality and compassion. You know, all of those energies are now becoming more prevalent, and those are the new superpowers. It's very much the opposite of our world, right? Of go, 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 produce, 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 and, you know, action, action, action. And but it isn't necessarily something that you're going to feel necessarily comfortable with. The goddess had me going in this process about 4 years ago. And I can remember that when even the first time I went to France, it was like I could notice such a huge difference between at home energy and the energy there, the way of life being so slowed down, being so, you know, different. And it took a while to get there, but um, you know, as I set with it and as I set my intention to align with just being comfortable with in the flow, with being comfortable with just being with myself, that's where it really started to blossom into more bliss,
Mm-hmm.
um, into more just being okay with it. And I think that's probably pretty challenging for people right now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
You know, I'm sure people are starting to go a little stir crazy, you know, because we're so on the go, go, go. But I'll encourage everyone to just stay with it, and it will soon shift. And once you can make that internal shift, things will be, you know, much more easier because you're going to be flowing in that whole flow of the divine mother, the divine grace and ease.
And that's what we're all waiting for, right? Is that what? And we like, and it's not even about waiting. It's like for us to actually have the intention and call it forward, right? Call it forth to us, you know, because it's always available to us. The love and support and the grace from the divine mother is always available, but we don't think to call it forth. You know, a lot of us, we still have that feeling or that belief that we're not worthy, we don't deserve it, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, if you have that feeling, and you know, you may shift in and out of it. I know, you know, until it's completely disintegrated and transformed, you may have worked on that issue, but maybe you haven't completely uprooted it. But just if as it flows in, then just sit with it, be present with it,
Mm-hmm.
go into your heart. You know, go into your heart, bring your hand to your heart, go into your heart, get grounded, invite your divine team in, and then, you know, bring in that beautiful energy of your own light, and just ask your team to really help you to feel whatever you need to feel, whatever you need to feel around that, and it will shift. It will shift. Even if it's one step at a time, all those small steps add up to big shifts, to big changes. Um,
Exactly.
and we're all at a different place on the pathway. And I think that one of the most challenging things for us as light workers is forgiving ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? Is
Yep.
forgiving and giving ourselves our own forgiveness. We forgive others, but we don't always, you know, we find it difficult to forgive ourselves and to not go in judgment. Um, and so I think that's probably one of the most difficult places. But, you know, we can always come back into alignment with our higher self. And as soon as I do that, as soon as I just come and sit down, connect with my heart, connect with my flow and my higher self,
Mm-hmm.
everything shifts, Alara. Everything shifts that quickly. And, you know, really, I think it's just a matter of us continuing to practice that new way of being, and practice it and practice it until these higher energies are really ingrained as our normal. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And it's about being consistent in your practice, whatever it happens to be, whether, you know, and calling forth the divine and knowing that you are divine, right? And that's the thing that we forget too. When we're judging ourselves, we're forgetting that we are divine, right? Or that, you know, in essence, we are perfect. But we judge and we limit ourselves and make ourselves smaller, and, you know, but we don't have to do that anymore. And that's the thing, that now with more and more light on the planet, more and more people being awakened to who they are, waking up more and more, being connected to the Divine Mother, being connected to Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, etc. You know, it's like so much more is possible now, and it's time for us to really take the reins, you know, and allow ourselves to be in our fullness.
Absolutely. And, you know, it really is time, because I think that really this next shift from what I've been shown, somewhere between April, May, June, somewhere in there, after, that this next shift in consciousness, you know, a lot of us on the front edge, on the leading edge, we are going to be receiving even more of our higher powers, even more gifts, you know, more tools that, more energy frequencies, you know, sacred geometry, whatever it is. I don't even think there's words to describe it.
Yeah.
You know, not really yet. In the fifth dimension, we don't have a language for fifth dimension other than, you know, vibration, sound, light, right? Telepathy. But, you know, what I'm very, very clear about is that what can keep you on course that I would provide as an insight for the community is that just keep coming back to yourself, trusting your own guidance and intuition. And that's super, super important, to keep trusting yourself, keep working with deepening your own divine connection with your higher self, your I am presence. Because when you move and shift into that quantum field, it isn't, you're no longer going to be, you know, projecting onto others. You're no longer entangled in anybody else's energies. You're no longer, you know, it's just really about you, you know, operating from your sovereign self, right? Your sovereign, authentic self. And as these relationships, it became very clear to me, I lost a couple of good relationships this year that were difficult. But it doesn't mean that, it just means that person's on their path, you're on your path, and they could circle around and come back. You don't know. You know, you just trust that, it was for the highest good, that you needed to let go of that so you could continue to journey on into those higher realms of consciousness, you know, to anchor in the 12 strand Christos-Sophia template. And, you know, I'm finding that really in order to do that, my focus has to come back to all on me, right? It has to be all on me. It has to come back to 100% on me. Not that I don't care or love others or I don't have compassion for others, but as an empath, I think that's probably one of the biggest lessons that we have to learn is when we came here to this earth, I don't think it was ever meant for us to be entangled. I think it was just, we were to come in, we were to explore, but we were supposed to be sticking to our own spiritual path. And, you know, and so that's really what I see so clearly is moving into that fifth dimension. If that's what you want, and you want to completely open the sacred rose of the goddess within your heart, then you've got to really make that commitment to, yes, I'm going to walk that path no matter what is happening around me. The world can be falling down, which it is. The third dimension is falling to pieces, but I'm going to stay committed 100% to walking this path no matter what. And I trust that universe has my back.
Yeah.
And you know, I really think it's important that through prayer, so prayer, I love the way Greg Brayton describes prayer, his definition of prayer. And I was really came back to this, and he describes prayer, and we can use prayer as one of the keys to activate our 12-strand DNA. And it's really, all it is your belief plus your feeling plus faith that the outcome already exists in the present timeline. And let me just say that again. So your belief plus your feeling, the feeling, which is your heart, plus faith, those three concepts combined together is more than a concept, right? Because the feeling includes our heart, our body, that the outcome already exists in our present timeline, and that the new creation is manifested through the grace, the movement of God. And so I really, it was interesting because what the guide shared with me is that when we say a prayer, if we repeat a prayer, but we don't have the feeling that goes with it, that basically that prayer is dead.
Yeah, just empty words. Yeah.
Just empty words in an energetic sense, because the universe communicates right through emotions and feelings. And that the secret of prayer is for us to turn on our inner feelings, the inner flow of our feelings. And that's where I still feel like we have some work to do in the emotional realm, because right now, think about how many people are at home, right? Can't go to work, or, maybe they're working and they're sitting there with these, repressed emotions now coming up, right? And feelings that they've never possibly even been in touch with before. And this, this is huge. This is huge. And so, as we can kind of lead the way through prayer, and we can really begin to use our sixth sense of imagination, and we can bring into that prayer that what we're praying for, in this case, our angelic goddess self, is already rooted into this body. We're holding the 12 strands of DNA and consciousness, and we already see the outcome right now in this timeline. And as we can do that, through the power of our imagination, then through natural law, the laws of the universe, it has to manifest on this earthly plane, right? On this earth plane. So what I find is that where the challenge is the belief piece.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Is the believing in it. And so I think that's why it's so crucial that as we come together in these circles, for example, what I find is when I come together with even one other person, whether it's a client session or a circle or whatever, that belief field, that field of belief, it begins to grow exponentially. It begins to widen the circle. And, I don't know that I can explain that. I just know that I feel that when that happens, it's kind of like, well, that is in the Bible, when two or more gather together, right? When two or more gather together, it's that whole principle, that whole concept. And so I really feel that as we can engage in that, it's going to really accelerate and help us to believe again in ourselves. Because I think to me, that's one of the most deepest woundings that Divine Mother is helping us to heal as light workers, is to heal this deep, deep seated belief that we've forgotten, how to heal. We've forgotten that we can heal, and that we have that powerful ability within us. And that Goddess, as she returns, as she turns on, in the flow through the ley lines and the stargates open right around the world, as this energy begins to flow through us literally, and I see it flowing down, as I said, from the, through the pineal, and then now through the high heart, and then down into the womb. As you hold that energy flow and you begin to operate from your womb center as a woman, or the Dantian as a man, as you really begin to feel into that, you are going to shift into more belief. I will tell you that right now. It's something that it's a practice I've been doing on myself for the last year. And as I've done it, I have been able to shift into my own power of believing in my own, even to another level, into a greater level, beyond the will. It's not about a human will thing. It's not like that at all. It's shifting into that magical space of, yes, we're all alchemists. We can take anything and transmute it into gold. And so I really feel like that's really the crux of where we are right now. And that this next period in April, as we come together around the globe, you know, as light workers coming together and seeding this new consciousness of the fifth dimension, literally through us, through our bodies, that we are going to be able to then just step up into this new ascended place of really, really holding the power of belief within us and using that power for the higher good of manifesting heaven on earth. Because we're going to actually begin to see it manifesting on earth in miracles and in new ways.
Awesome. And I think we're all looking forward to that, you know, being able to manifest what we desire, not necessarily what we wanted in the past, but now, because everything is changing and everything is brand new now. And as we're moving forward, like you said, in the next couple of months, we're all transforming. I feel like we're all being upgraded as well, right? Those of us who are actually doing the work, you know, are going to be upgraded.
Yes.
Because we're receiving the codes, we're receiving more of the light. And so, you know, the other point you made right now is that right now, when so many of us are at home and we have all this free time, a lot of our stuff is coming up to look at, but it's coming up to look at so that we can acknowledge it and say, oh yeah, that happened, this happened, oh yeah, huh, interesting, you know, and then bless it, like you were talking about, and let it go. And as we bless it and let it go, we open up our space to hold more light, right?
Absolutely. Exactly. It doesn't have to be a difficult process. I mean, it really can be that simple, and simple is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about you setting your intention, your prayer, and then just being willing to shift your perceptions, just being willing to be open. And I would say the other part of it is working with your divine team of light, because,
for sure,
you know, they're your partners. They're there to help you to shift these perceptions and shift your energy field, and just being open to the light moving in and through you, and inviting that light to move in and through you, and bringing in and activating your crystalline, you know, your crystalline code. Because that's what these, you know, the plasma waves coming in, you know, getting kind of scientific here from the galactic center, you know, those are bringing forth the mana, the crystalline mana, if you want to call it, you know, that Divine Mother's bringing back to us. It's turning on that new crystalline, you know, sequencing within us.
mm-hmm.
But, you know, I think the key is we have to kind of pick up our own mantle, and we have to go before the altar of God Goddess and just say, yes, this is what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as we say yes through our own free will choice, and we keep showing up and we keep saying yes, no matter what it looks like outside, no matter, you know, even maybe how difficult this is, I'm committed, I'm showing up through my own free will choice. And it will be done. It has to be. It's divine law.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. So are you choosing now to embody your goddess self, your angelic goddess self? And it's simple. You just choose it. You imagine it, what it would be like. You declare it to God Goddess, and then, you know, you take the next step, right?
right. And also, let me talk a little bit too about the diamond light body.
Mm-hmm.
So the 12-strand diamond sun DNA template, that's a mouthful, is really all about restoring those 12 DNA strands, and, you know, to hold your divine blueprint, right, which is holding your potential, your highest potential to bring through, you know, what you signed up, you contracted with God Goddess to bring through in this lifetime. But these are really the activation of the higher mind, the higher crystalline grid matrix at the cellular level. And this diamond light body is really your immortal body. And so as you move from personal will to divine will, and you move into alignment with divine will and divine source, which is the ultimate intelligence of the universe, and you begin to choose that, then this is when you're going to really be able to flip it and flip on these codes of activating, the diamond sequence, if you will, of the Christos-Sophia template within you. And so, yeah, that's where I'm seeing our potential is right now, Lara. Like, I mean, I've did sessions after sessions after sessions, and even though in this lifetime, we're ascending as a group, which what that means is we're ascending as a soul group, but not everybody is at the same exact place.
Right.
But what I did see was that as a soul group, we're very much, part of our energetic field is now moving into that 7th and 8th even levels of consciousness. And now we are getting into those higher frequencies of the diamond light code and then beginning to turn it on. So, to me, that's such a wonderful blessing and a comfort, because we're not really, really walking alone, are we?
No, we're never alone. Exactly.
We're not, we're not alone. We're doing this together with, our higher teams of light, and we're doing it together here on the planet. And, for me, that just I'm just so grateful and I'm so appreciative. And we have this beautiful, collective, again, a collective group of energy that we can tap into. And I would just invite you to, when you're feeling alone, or maybe you're feeling, some loneliness, or if you can't reach out to another, light worker or friend, to just, again, reach out and connect with this beautiful unified field of peace and compassion that's arising. And through one of these, circles, or tapping into one of these global meditations or whatever, there's lots of opportunities out there right now. And also to invite in the energy of grace. And, I think the energy of grace is something that we maybe are not as familiar with, because it is part of the goddess flow.
Mm-hmm.
And, and it's one of the things I tap into is that, whenever I can, or whatever, if I'm feeling low or I'm feeling, uncomfortable or uneasy, I just ask for grace. I just ask for the goddess to come in and to begin to move the energy of her light, of her white diamond light through me. And each and every time I do that, it's instantaneous. And I think it's really just about moving out of the old conditioned habits and ways of being in the third dimension that we were so used to, and just becoming aware. I'm in that old pattern. Oh, I'm in that old pattern. Let me just flip it back. Let me flip it to the into the, shift it back into the light, into who I am, and just asking the guides to raise our frequency. It can be that simple at times.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but I think it's getting easier and easier and easier to do that, or at least that's based on my experience.
Yeah, I definitely think it's easier and easier. And the thing is, again, it's also about us tuning into that frequency of grace as well, and tapping into that and bringing that forward for ourselves through the divine, through the, goddesses, and even knowing that it's available. I mean, I'll be honest, when I think of grace, I think of it as more of an energy from God, goddess, that is like a gift or blessing for us, I don't know, it's something that it's special. It's, not common, it's not necessarily a miracle, but it's high up there.
It is high up there. It is high up there. And what you could do is I would just invite, to ask your team, to ask your team of light, your higher angelic team, to show you the energy of grace, to move the energy of grace in and through you. If you are not sure about an energy, frequency, or vibration, just invite your team of light to show you what that feels like, right?
Yeah.
And to invite that in. And that's really another form of saying, yes, I love myself so much that, I'm taking care of me in new ways, especially on the emotional and the physical realm right now. And, emotionally, I think that's where, as empaths, it has been quite challenging, because I don't think we really when you think about it, or at least when I think about it, I didn't have any role models growing up to show me how to really love myself on the emotional realm. I had quite the opposite.
Yeah, same.
Right. And even today, how many people do we have? I mean, we're starting to model to each other as we have healed ourselves of what's a healthy emotional way of being. How do I love myself? How do I take care of myself emotionally? How do I self-parent myself through this situation that, is difficult? And I'll invite your listeners and your community to explore, re-exploring, maybe even deepening the relationship with your inner child. The inner child work is something I started recently doing again on myself. And it was just time for me to reach again to a higher level, because we know that the inner child is the higher self and is pure innocence. And I really needed to dive into that to really anchor in my divine masculine piece. And, it was like higher self, higher self, higher self was the wording. But now I've switched it up to really spending time in meditation with my inner child. And it's just been phenomenal. It's been phenomenal for me to reconnect on a new level, I'll say it that way, of being able to love her more than I ever have, which is another way of opening the door to receiving love from the goddess. And self-parroting myself in ways that I didn't know how to do before. And that's been a huge, huge blessing. And, I think that's part of the sequence. That's the part of the, really embodying, is really bringing back that healthy partnership with our inner child, and having those conversations of inviting her, which includes your body deva as well, by the way. And I did want to mention the body deva because your body deva is how you manifest on the earth. And right now our bodies are being prepared, as I said earlier, for these bigger streams of light to bring new light structures in. And so you're taking care of your body deva. That's why it's become such a focus, right? We see on the internet. I mean, you go out there on the internet and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know this keto diet's been a rage for 5 years, or, all these things, oh, the fasting. And, Mother Mary brought that to my attention several months ago, that, you need to switch your lifestyle to modified fasting. I mean, there's lots of different ways to fast. And, you know, and this is yet another way to take care of our bodies, to allow our bodies the time to heal at the cellular level, because our bodies have taken so much, right, from the environment. And we don't have to go into that. We all know what that is. But but that became part of my journey back in November, and I completely switched to a keto diet. I started doing modified fasting, which has now become a way of life. And oh my gosh, that was huge. That was hugely empowering. And the interesting thing I want to share about that, Laura, is that, and I knew that I wasn't going to try to do it from just sheer willpower, because I had lost weight years ago doing sheer willpower, right? Running, exercising, all the stuff we used to do. That's now how this flowed. This flowed with the grace of the goddess. So talking about the grace of the goddess, because I knew that as releasing some unhealthy foods, some too many carbs, and releasing that, it was part of the divine plan for the next step of the ascension. Those goddess energies started to flow in and through me, and even more anchoring in. And oh my gosh, it was so easy. It was like, oh my gosh, this is incredibly easy. and I think that's really what I want to convey, is that the goddess, as you allow her into your life and you begin to embrace her, things are going to be easier, not harder. Right?
Yeah.
And as we can release our fear, we can release our resistance patterns, we can be aware that when we're in resistance, oh, I'm in resistance. Okay, I recognize that. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm just going to recognize that. I'm going to come back to the present moment, come in my heart. So I'm not projecting in the future. I'm not going in the past. I'm just staying really, really present, allow my body to feel whatever it wants to feel the oppressed emotions. And then it will shift very, very quickly, usually now, and then come back into the stillness of that 0 point field, into neutrality, into compassion. And then as I do that, I'm now becoming more one with everything, which is really, the ascension is becoming one with everything. There's nowhere to project my energies. There's no energy of separation anymore. And now everything opens up. I have the access to everything, which is really what the fifth dimensional state is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, access to everything, or whatever you choose, whatever you desire, access to that, right?
Absolutely. In the new foundation of, I'll caveat that with, the new foundation of the new earth, which is the fifth dimensional field, which is divine love. And so as you're shifting, walking over the rainbow bridge, whatever you want to call it, you're leaving the third dimensional earth, you're anchoring into the new fifth dimensional earth, which is the energies of the goddess of, including your body, deva, comes from earth, Mother Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And, she has her ascension path, just like you as a soul have your ascension path. And so as you align together, and there may be some things for you to work there, through with your body. I've found that too in the last couple of years, that, if we were fairly ungrounded in our previous lives, or even in this earlier life, that coming back and really the importance of creating a connection with your body, deva, and, checking in with her every day. What does she want to drink? What does she want to eat?
Mm-hmm.
What can I do to take care of you? What can I do to help you to heal? Because we know the body's consciousness is lower than our soul consciousness. And that's been huge. And I think that's, really where we are right now on the ascension path. A lot of us are changing our diets. We're, selecting healthier foods. Maybe we're fasting. Maybe we're, doing all these things to really support our bodies in ways we never have before.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And yeah, so that's huge, to being able to manifest and bring through what you're going to manifest on the earth. And even with the DNA, there's a connection with staying hydrated in the DNA that I'll mention.
Mm-hmm.
That the more hydrated your DNA, the more that your energy potentials, can accelerate. So that's really important too. And then just removing the impurities, right, that you can. So through, maybe using sound, vibration, as well to augment that. Whatever you want to use, bless your water, bless your food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Prayer, prayer,
yeah.
Ritual, ceremony. But, I think that the bottom line here is that it is happening. We are making a difference. Our light matters.
Mm-hmm.
Our love matters, and that collectively we are rising together, and we're going to begin to see this new fifth dimensional world very, very soon in the next couple months. Really
awesome.
coming
That's
through.
Great. Yep.
It is. Yay!
Yep. We just got to get through this short little blip, and it'll be all good.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about.
Exactly.
So don't buy into the fear mentality. Don't buy into any of that craziness that's out there. Focus on your light. Focus on, raising your vibration, and just focus on radiating your light, and it'll all be well. Right?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not one to say that there isn't going to be any challenges. I think the biggest bulk of challenges that we're going to hopefully, face will be this next 30-day window.
Mm-hmm.
And once we get through this next 30-day window, that we're going to be on the other side of it, and things are really going to begin to really shift into a whole new way of living with a lot more grace and flow and ease.
Yeah. So take this time as an opportunity, as a gift, as a blessing to, do the inner work to really get clear on who are you, what are you, are you shining your light, how do you want to shine your light, what else is possible for you, and basically, are you connecting to spirit, are you connecting to the goddess, are you connecting to yourself and your team on a regular basis, right? Do that work,
Exactly.
as well as nurturing and caring for your body.
Exactly.
It's challenging right now, I'll be honest. I mean, I was doing really well right before all this happened, and now it's like, we can't really go to the store as much and all that wonderful stuff, so we don't have the best quality food in the house, but it's like, all right, this too shall pass. This too shall pass.
Exactly. This too shall pass. That's really good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And it can also be a very creative time, too, to really tap into your creative abilities and practice. Practice, honing, whatever it is for you, whatever your hobby is, or whatever you enjoy, or journaling or writing, maybe write that book, or just being with yourself. And if all you want to do is rest or sleep all day, do it. Do whatever you need to do, and listen to those impulses and come back to your own internal compass, I like to call it. And, trust your intuition, because our intuition is getting much more clear. It's getting much more turned on. And I find that the signal of the impulse coming through my heart is getting stronger. It's beating stronger. It's beating louder. It's when I can really focus and hone in on that. And Mother Mary's showing me that sacred heart, right? That sacred heart, and really focusing and calling. Oh, this is the other thing I wanted to mention too, that's so exciting, is that as these goddess frequencies returning to the planet now, I really was shown this, that we are each as women and men, we are going to be gifted with different goddess energies. We're going to be overlaid with, I had different sessions with different clients where different goddesses were coming in and saying, I'm gifting you, I'm overlaying my energies with your energies to gift you those energies and those spiritual gifts. So whether it was Athena or Diana or Mary Magdalene or Mother Mary or whoever, Kuan Yin, this is so exciting to me, because they're gifting us these energies. And as we step into this higher next field of consciousness and frequency, be open to receiving, and don't be shocked when they show up in your meditation and your prayer time, to share with you, hey, I'm here to guide you, to create this direct connection with you, and I'm gifting you my energies, whatever those energy tools are. We get to play in those, we get to wear those, we get to be those energies. And I'm so excited about that. And fun stuff, right? We have a lot of cool stuff to look forward to.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. And that's the thing too, is like, with more and more of the goddess frequencies and goddess energies flowing to the planet, flowing to all of us, it's our job too to be open to it, to be open to those frequencies. So start doing research on your own if you want about some of the goddesses, about some of the ascended masters that you are attracted to, that you resonate with. Start doing a little bit more research, and you'll find that that might be the one that you work with more and more and more, right?
Yeah, get you, there's some really good decks of cards out there, goddess cards. I love the deck, the Divine Feminine by Megan Watterson, because there's 56 different goddesses in that particular deck. And it's a beautiful deck, and I love that deck. I use it all the time. And there's a lot of goddesses that we don't even, maybe know about yet, that are returning and coming in. I had a goddess that brought through a goddess blessing ceremony all the way back from Mesopotamia, I think. And, which was several thousand years ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, where'd this come out from? Popped out. And, so, just be open. And I always encourage, my community to journal, or, just to be ready to receive, or maybe you get in messages from the dream time, through the dream state, whatever works for you. But, I really see and feel and been shown that, we're getting ready to receive this beautiful uplifting into this new frequency consciousness. And there's going to be all kinds of wonderful new gifts and tools and healing tools we're going to have access to we haven't had access to before. And, a lot of people have asked me, well, I feel like, I took this energy healing modality, whatever it is, and I was following that, but yet I feel like I need to do it this way. And I said, you need to follow what your natural flow. You need to, those were just structures for us to begin.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
you need
follow your knowing. Yeah.
Exactly. Follow your knowing, even if it's, not what the way you were exactly taught.
Yeah.
If you're feeling it and your higher self is bringing it through and guiding you, then that's what you need to do.
Exactly. Trust. So speaking of, tools and support, you have a new special offer that you have available for our listeners too, to support them. So I just want to take a moment to talk about that. So for those of you who are on the live page, you can just click on special offer. Those of you who are not, you can go to alara.at/show/Laura3. And so this time around, you have, what is it here? Hold on. It's a Angelic Fasting Detox Prayer Circle Retreat.
Yes.
With some bonuses. So can you talk a little bit about that? And then also in the package B is the Christos-Sophia Avatar Goddess Self Light Codes DNA activation. So I want to talk about that too.
Sure. So for package A, what I have is I started doing these 3-day live prayer calls. And so this is a pre-recorded call from January. The January 3-day call was during that super powerful window we had. I think it was when Capricorn and Saturn and Pluto were coming in. Very powerful windows. So it's over 6 hours of live call, live healing processes that I take you through. And so very powerful. We went through all kinds of DNA activations and group activations. We did some work around relationship to ourselves and relationship to others that we looked into. I'm just trying to think of all the things we did. Some diamond light frequency activations. And then also in addition to that, I have I think it's like a 20-page fasting detox. It does have information in there about, how you can do a fast, how you can make smoothies, so it gives you recipes of how, if you've never done that before. And in the first day's class, I do talk about a little bit about, the fasting process, the detox, and the benefits of those combined with prayer. Because this is really an old practice, right? It's been around and used by people for, thousands of years.
Yeah.
And so, and then let's see what else. There's also a bonus, a golden heart womb activation healing audio with light language. And then you got the 3-day fasting detox prayer angel kit, and that's in package A.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, I will do a live Q&A call, Laura. So
in April. Yeah.
In April. And so we'll meet together as a group, and then we'll do some, live Q&A readings and an activation.
Awesome.
And then for package B would be, you get package A plus you get a 60-minute, or, I've gone up to 90 minutes with my sessions because I go as long as the guides want us to go. But, you can choose, trying to get down here, if you want the activation, the DNA activation of the 12 strands, if your guides and your higher self agree and guide me to do that for you, then I will. Or it could be that they'd rather, bring through a ceremony or, some other type of healing. I mean, honestly, it's kind of different from person to person about whatever's for their highest good. That's kind of how I work. But I always work with, your highest light team, the angels, and the goddess energy and the Akashic record field. So,
powerful.
Yeah. And so this DNA angelic activation, I'm not saying that, I'm just kind of saying that most people are ready for it. And as part of that, Archangel Michael gave me, since you asked about it, a 3-wave stability, 3 waves of stability process that I will take you through as well to stabilize your mental, your emotional, your physical, and your spiritual bodies as we're going through these changes. And that's part of the part of this as well. So let's see. Does that kind of help answer?
I think so. Yeah, I think that covers everything in package A and B. Yep, that's awesome. I think that works. So package A is 111 and package B is 177. So please do take a look at those. And if you have any questions, feel free to type it in the chat, or, you can always send us an email afterward if you have questions about the Christos-Sophia Avatar Goddess Self Light Codes DNA activation or something else, right? That's a long title for sure.
Yeah.
But ask for that, and then when you book your session and you ask for that, then I'm assuming, Laura, then you'll check in with the team and say yes or no, or if something else is more beneficial, right?
Absolutely. And absolutely, sometimes people get every one of these DNA activations that I do are very personalized. That's why I do them in the session. I did do some DNA activation in the group, just so people know that you do get some level of DNA activation in the group in the package A.
Right.
But for the package B, it's very, very personal. And then you do get the 3 waves, the stabilization, which is sealed in with light language. But, honestly, I try to open up to what your higher self wants. And sometimes we're doing soul integration work. Sometimes I've taken people through a goddess ceremony, and Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, and Yeshua came in, or other masters, and they're like, we want to take this person through a ceremony, which was extremely powerful. That person's soul, it's kind of like what your soul is calling for.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Exactly. And so, if you are called to, do a session with Laura, just, ask your soul, okay, what do I require right now? What is it that is going to take me to the next level? What is going to, what upgrade, am I ready for now? Right.
Absolutely. And I do record the sessions that you get to keep. And sometimes they're partly teaching sessions as well. So I'm teaching how to do something or giving you some tools, that kind of thing as well. So as we do.
Awesome. Yep.
Yeah. So
we can always use more tools. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I know there's a lot of maybe questions in the chat room. Is there anything I can answer? Let me know.
Sure. So we have some people with their hands raised, and we have a few questions in the chat. So I know Marianne has had her hand raised for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and unmute her. So we only have a few minutes because Laura's not feeling 100% today, so I don't want to tax her too much. So, we're not going to take a lot of time, okay? So Marianne, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you here. Oh, there you go. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I was meditating today and I saw this tall light being, and I was wondering who it was and what the message was. I couldn't really get it. I was just feeling so much gratitude for this being showing up, and because I was praying to deal with the situation here. And become more peaceful and loving. So, like what? So what is it that would help me to move forward now?
Yeah, so interesting. I am seeing a very large angelic being, and and actually it's interesting. I'm getting that actually it's the energy of Joseph, the father of Yeshua. just really coming in to give you a message about really embracing your masculine self right now. To really just begin, you know, it's really time for that masculine to begin to just get anchored, the divine masculine, okay, the divine masculine into your energetic field, to begin to get really tuned into that, honed into that, to allow some healing to happen, that you're ready for that part on the ascension path.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that exciting. That's very exciting, and that really, really is very exciting, because you've done enough of the groundwork on your feminine to that your masculine is now feeling comfortable and safe to return to you, that divine masculine. So, yeah, really interesting, because now I'm seeing actually Yeshua as well there, and bring in the purple amethyst color, and the gold frequency, the ascension ray of the gold masculine energies, and work with those energies. So work with the amethyst, the seventh ray, and work with the gold ray, those two angelic rays to with your divine masculine.
Okay.
And just seeing if there's anything else they want to, you know, they're just instructing you to sit and in your prayer meditation time and invite these energies to come in and work through you. And I see your crown chakra opening, and then I see these energies really beginning to move down in and through you, kind of like a spiral, actually, like activating your DNA. It's very interesting. So just be open and give your body time to integrate between, you know, you do a session, right? Do a session, and then be sure to drink a lot of water, stay really hydrated, and then rest. Okay, rest a few days, let your body integrate, and then you can come back and do another session. So, yeah, that's beautiful. Amazing.
That's awesome, Marianne.
I'm curious. Session, you mean like when I meditate and pray?
Yes, when you meditate and pray, just connect into your divine masculine, connect into Joseph, connect into Yeshua, connect into Saint Germain, because they're all part of that divine masculine energy field. And just simply invite this energy field to become active within you, and ask your higher self to guide you through that, and to begin to, you're open, ready, and willing to receive the activation for those energies within your own divine blueprint to be activated, the masculine qualities and frequencies within your blueprint to be activated.
Perfect.
Well done. Well done.
Awesome.
That's beautiful. You're on your way.
Thank you, Marianne.
Thank you. God bless you.
That's good.
All right, so we have Pat also has her hand raised, and I see Pat was on the screen a second ago, but I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, Pat, really quickly. Hello?
Hello?
There she is. Hi. Yep, go ahead.
Hi, Pat.
Hello, Laura. Thank you for your wonderful wisdom. I'm going through some tremendous lightheadedness and off balance. It depends on each day. And my integrating higher frequencies into my being.
Yes. Yes, definitely. But I do see you kind of, when you said that, I kind of see your body, David, swaying a little bit, like you were, yes, definitely impacting your inner balance a little bit, which can happen right now with these higher frequencies.
Okay.
So one of the things that do you take any mineral salts, or do you use pink Himalayan salt in your diet?
Yes, I do. I use pH Miracle salts to alkaline my body.
Okay. This is more about the mineral salts, because we get depleted if we don't stay hydrated, and it's not easy necessarily to stay hydrated with these frequencies.
And I drink a lot of alkaline water too.
Okay. You want to add mineral salts, cell salts, C-E-L-L, cell salts. I would add some cell salts. You don't, you can get them in a liquid form on there. You want to, do you do a chakra clearing? You want to do a clearing to clear your nervous system.
Yeah.
You want to clear that nervous system, and I don't know what your home situation is like with the EMF fields inside your home, but those also can play into this.
Okay.
So some simple things you can do. At night, turn your phone on airplane mode and don't have it next to your head. Like put it across the room if you've got to have it in your bedroom.
No, I don't have anything in my bedroom.
Okay, perfect. And turn off all Wi-Fi at night. Turn it completely off.
Right.
And let your body rest. Just giving your body back some time, because it's at night when our body replenishes our fields. See what else. I mean, basically they're showing me you going out and hugging a tree.
Yes, I do that.
Okay, that's good as well. That's helpful. There was something else. Oh, I know. They also said, the guides are saying that when you begin to feel lightheaded or off center, to ask your guides to cut down the flow. To cut down the flow coming, literally into your body.
Okay.
And to cut it down like 25% or cut it down to half.
Okay.
And because your body is not able to keep up with it. And, that flow comes directly into our nervous system. So try that. That's I think going to be the best, I'm feeling the most energy around that, to just cut this flow down and allow my body to rest and integrate what I already received. And then you can, try that.
Okay.
But seems like you're doing a lot of the good stuff to take care of your body, what you already mentioned.
Yes, I am. And I try to send love to the earth and humanity every day with my toning bowl and,
Beautiful.
I felt humanity was actually, I woke up with a message saying that the heart is being activated in all humanity. I thought that was amazing.
Yes, that is exactly right. That is exactly true. The heart of humanity is being activated. Yes.
Okay,
totally.
thank you.
Absolutely. So, and I don't know if you use color when you ground into Mother Earth. Do you use any kind of color in the grounding cord?
I use gold.
You might try using lime green.
Lime green. Okay.
Try lime green instead of gold.
Okay.
And the guides are saying try that out to see if that will help too.
Good.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to meet with you and connect with you today.
So I could put some Himalayan salt in water and drink that?
Absolutely. You can do that too.
I have that. I have Himalayan salt.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Just start with maybe half a teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon? Okay.
And because our mineral salts are getting depleted and because of the the radiation and stuff like that, it's just a challenge, so we have to do extra kind of care.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
Blessings.
Yeah, blessings to you. Namaste.
And I just want to say really quickly, some of that, what you just shared with Pat, we all can use some of that stuff, right? So we,
absolutely,
alkaline water, more salt, minerals, etc. Drinking more water, etc. We can use some of that. I'm not going to trust your knowing. Ask your body. And go with that. Okay.
And lemon ginger. I'll add lemon ginger water is very hydrating. So just get make your own lemonade and put organic lemons. But the ginger piece is very hydrating too.
Yeah. Awesome. Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take one last question. I know that Arietta was asking for healing. I don't know. She had on her left side of her stomach is really painful. Go see a doctor. That's the first thing I'm going to say. Go see a doctor. But she said the discomfort becomes greater after eating. And she's just looking for some freedom, some ease with that. And then, so I'll let you tackle that one first, Laura.
Okay. Yeah.
What did you get?
You know, it really, like they're pointing me to the small intestine, and there is some repressed emotion there within that small intestine. It's really wanting to, starting to come out, repressed emotion and pain you've been holding in there for a long time, Areta. So I want you to breathe deeply into that. You know, bring your hands to that spot and just give yourself, you know, healing energy and support. If you know Reiki, you can include the Reiki symbols. But if you don't have to. You can just bring your own hands and channel up unconditional love from Mother Earth. You can channel, you know, healing energy through your heart, down your arms, through your hands. And just let that repressed emotions and pain come up and out. It almost seems like there's a knot in there. So I want you to just really breathe into that place. Just really take some deep breaths. Invite your higher team and guides to help guide you and to hold you in a space of safety, that you're safe. It almost feels like trauma energy, and it's okay to release it now. Yeah, it's a knotted up place, and it's like some repressed trauma from your childhood, it feels like. So just breathe. Just keep breathing deeply and just saying, it's okay. It's okay for you to release it. It's safe for you to release it. Okay, it feels like it's feeling more expanded now and feeling better. So let us know if it hasn't completely released. Just keep doing that. And I would send some unconditional love also to you, Areta, and asking that ray to move in and through you and your body into that place and begin to heal that. Beautiful.
Good. Thank you. So let us know how you feel.
Yeah, and if it doesn't let up, I think you need to go to the physician just to get checked out as well. I agree with Laura, just to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Areta, sending you love.
Yeah, exactly. So one last quick question from Julie, and Julie is so sweet. She's asking, she's so sweet. Am I moving into higher frequencies, Julie? I'm just laughing. I know, Julie. It's just
yes,
sweet.
Absolutely.
I could have told you that.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of earth energy and elemental energy that's really moving in, which is the goddess energy, of course, moving in and through her. Mm-hmm. It seems almost fairy-like to me. So yeah, let that move in and through you, like, you know, just to welcome that in and enjoy. Gosh, enjoy it. I feel it really expanding in your back, up your nervous system right now. Just keep breathing and receiving and allowing and deepening. They want to take you, those fairies, they want to take you on a ride, sister.
Nice. Awesome.
That's wonderful. It feels really, really good. Feel deep into your heart, how that's coming in the back of the heart. That's beautiful, blissful energy there for you, dear.
Yeah, connect into it, Julie.
Absolutely.
Just receive.
Exactly. Receive, receive, receive. Enjoy, 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 Julie.
Yeah.
Sending you lots of love.
and see, like, just, you know, your question had me like giggling, right? That's that fairy energy, right?
Exactly. Love it. We need more of that play fairy energy right now.
Yeah, that lightness, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. So how are you feeling, Laura? I know that, like I said, we were going to keep the call as short as we could, you know, so I really appreciate you going longer than we had planned.
Yeah, I feel okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Good, 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 good. All right. So is there anything else you wanted to do today to share with us today?
I think
are the goddesses
let me
anything through at the moment?
Let me connect in and see if there's anything coming through. Yeah. In here. You know, Mother Mary, she just keeps pointing to our heart, in our heart space. And now it's really important to connect into that tiny space of your heart, which is the portal to the cosmos. I call it the cosmos, to the universe. And to meditate here. So you can just kind of be asked to be guided in your meditation to that tiny space of the heart. It's a portal. It's actually a portal that you move through out into the cosmos. And as you move in and through that portal out into the cosmos, you're going to be able to connect in more with that galactic energy field, your galactic, self, that part of you that is the fifth dimension, the ascended self, ascended master self. You'll begin to connect with these higher plasma energies and crystalline fields that are moving in. And these are bringing in new frequencies of color and light and sensation and bliss. So she's saying just meditate with her, invite her in to join with you as well as your divine team. And they'll begin to take you into this journey. Now, this is not going into a wormhole. This is just going out through that tiny space of the heart. It leads into deeper depths of your heart, into your multidimensional heart. It moves you into your Merkaba. And the Merkaba is not the Merkaba, but the toroidal field into the toroidal field, into the toroidal field, which are the quantum fields. And we don't have to understand that with our mind. We just go there into the heart and we ask our heart and just communicate with our heart and align with our heart for our, again, that we're willing, able, and ready to step into that higher destiny and to please lead us forward into that beautiful destiny. And then she's showing me kind of it's like we're on the yellow brick road and you're moving toward that beautiful golden galactic center in the rainbow frequencies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And to be playful and to play more, less serious, and move into that creative space. And everyone is being freed from the old paradigm now. You're being literally freed from it. You're being unchained and you're unlocking from that old paradigm. And you are truly, truly free. And now she's showing me the dove of peace.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So we're ready. We are ready to receive this. And the message is you're ready, receive it and enjoy and welcome it in. And that's all you have to do. Just remember and awaken. Remember and awaken to those parts of yourself that you hid. You actually hid those parts and now open the doors to those new higher realms of consciousness. Yeah. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, that was.
You're welcome.
We are ready for it, Oh,
yes, absolutely. Because the law of one is calling us home. The law of one, everybody has that beacon of light, right? The part of us that never left the heart of God.
Mm-hmm.
From the light we came and to the light we return. And it's time for the law of one to restore the law of one here on this earth and for us to begin to journey. Some of us will return to this earth and some of us are going to move on to that next, wave of light, whatever that is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
I love it. So get ready. continue working on yourself, playing, continue connecting to spirit, connecting to God, Goddess, your higher self, your team. Do the inner work the best you can. Connect, 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 receive, receive, receive. And just go through this next little while. Just be in the flow the best you can, and we're all going to get out on the other side in the next month or so. Get ready for the 444 portal coming up on April 4th. So that's going to be a big day, big event for all of us. So, be open to receive. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Laura. That was awesome. That was such a powerful call. So much information, so much wisdom, and so many tools that are available for us to upgrade ourselves, for us to move to the next level, for us to become more, to embody more of the fifth dimensional energies now. And so I feel like we're in a little bit of a preparatory stage right now, but in the next couple of months, we're going to be there. So this is the time to get ready, to rest if you need to rest, listen to your body. What does your body require, right?
Absolutely. And absolutely, listen to the body is totally super important. So please take the time to listen to your body, ask your body, deva, what she needs, what she wants. Play with her, pay attention to her, and she'll guide you forward. And because our wombs are incredibly powerful. Mm-hmm. And bring your hands to your womb and really begin to bring that energy flow to your womb. When you speak, practice speaking from your womb. When you practice speaking from your womb, from that place, you're going to notice people really like paying attention to you and like, oh, this sister has something really important to say. Like, you will be really tapping into your wisdom. So learn how to speak, not just from the throat chakra and not just from your heart, but bring that energy down to the womb. It's a very powerful place to begin to live. And this is the most powerful place that we can actually physically be from on the earth plane. So I'll share that. But this is going to be a super cool time moving forward. And yeah, we are still going to be having some bumps, but stay positive. Take care of yourself emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. Reach out for help and support. And I'd love to do a session with you, anybody that feels called and directed, and to help you through this time. And yeah, and my retreat to France is actually still on right now.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I actually have. No, the Glastonbury retreat we're not going to do it in May. We are going to hopefully be able to resume and do it maybe in July or August.
Right.
Once the airline bans get lifted, we'll push it back. And I'm actually thinking about doing a combo. I'm actually looking into, for some people who can't attend with us physically, maybe offering a virtual.
Yeah, good idea.
I don't know. We'll see.
That would be awesome. But yeah, look at the logistics. But yeah, that would be awesome. I think more people would love to be able to join you, via Zoom or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna actually take a little class on how to do it. But the energy could be just as powerful doing it that way. And since I've been to Glastonbury, I think I can maneuver it. But the Avalon priest and priestesses and sisters and brothers that want to come together there, which will include Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, and Yeshua as well. And actually, yeah. So, yeah. I feel good about it in the France retreat too. My guides are saying yes, it's a green light. So here we go.
Awesome, I love it. Yay.
Thank you, Laura, for letting me mention that.
Oh yeah, I think it's. I mean, I would love to attend. I just know that right now everything is on hold. Right, like everything's on hold. Nobody can fly anywhere. I think our last flight out of here was like today. So
really?
Like,
oh my goodness. Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's on hold. But that's okay. But yeah, so let us know if you are going to do, when you're going to be doing the retreats, and if you're going to have an online option. That would be awesome, I think, for a lot of people who cannot fly there at that time. So that would be, that'd be a bonus, I think, for some people. But yeah, definitely keep us in the loop. And yeah, right now, if you would, this is a great time for you to book a session with Laura and activate your DNA, bring in your goddess self as well, or one of the goddesses who wants to work with you, have her come in, overlay, if that's an option. And or, work with the 3-day healing retreat on your own. It's like home study. Right, so take a look at the packages. They're available at alara.at/show/Laura3. So this is a great opportunity for you to do that, because you have the time.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. You have the time. All right. So thank you so much, Laura. I know we went over, and I hope you get better real soon, feel better, take care of your health, because we do need you to do your work as well, right? So
thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Rest up, get well, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.
All right. Thank you, Laura. Sending love out to everyone. Namaste. Sending you all much love and blessings. Goddess blessings.
Thank you, everybody,
Take care.
for all of your questions and being with us today. So awesome. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.